Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugundim Pushtivaranam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Rityo Mukhyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugundim Pushtivaranam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Rityo Mukhyamamritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. Welcome back for another chapter of I Am That by Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Today we will be looking at chapter 45, What Comes and Goes Has No Being. I have come to be with you rather than to listen. Little can be said in words, much more can be conveyed in silence. First words, then silence. One must be ripe for silence. Can I live in silence? Unselfish work leads to silence. For when you work selflessly, you don't need to ask for help. Indifferent to results, you are willing to work with the most inadequate means. You do not care to be much gifted and well-equipped, nor do you ask for recognition and assistance. You just do what needs be done, leaving success and failure to the unknown. For everything is caused by innumerable factors, of which your personal endeavor is but one. Yet, such is the magic of man's mind and heart, that the most improbable happens when human will and love pull together. What is wrong with asking for help when the work is worthy? Where is the need of asking? It merely shows weakness and anxiety. Work on, and the universe will work with you. After all, the very idea of doing the right thing comes to you from the unknown. Leave it to the unknown as far as the results go. Just go through the necessary movements. You are merely one of the links in the long chain of causation. Fundamentally, all happens in the mind only. When you work for something wholeheartedly and steadily, it happens, for it is the function of the mind to make things happen. In reality, nothing is lacking and nothing is needed. All work is on the surface only. In the depths, there is perfect peace. All your problems arise because you have defined and therefore limited yourself. When you do not think yourself to be this or that, all conflict ceases. Any attempt to do something about your problems is bound to fail, for what is caused by desire can be undone only in freedom from desire. You haven't closed yourself in time and space, squeezed yourself into the span of a lifetime and the volume of a body, and thus created the innumerable conflicts of life and death, pleasure and pain, hope and fear. You cannot be rid of problems without abandoning illusions. A person is naturally limited. There is no such thing as a person. There is no such thing as a person. There is no such thing as a person. There are only restrictions and limitations. The sum total of these defines the person. You think you know yourself when you know what you are, but you never know who you are. The person merely appears to be, like the space within the pot, appears to have the shape and volume and smell of the pot. See that you are not what you believe yourself to be. Fight with all the strength at your disposal against the idea that you are nameable and describable. You are not. Refuse to think of yourself in terms of this or that. There is no other way out of misery, which you have created for yourself through blind acceptance without investigation. Suffering is a call for inquiry. All pain needs investigation. Don't be too lazy to think. Activity is the essence of reality. There is no virtue in not working. Along with thinking, something must be done. To work in the world is hard. To refrain from all unnecessary work is even harder. For the person, I am all this seems impossible. What do you know about yourself? You can only be what you are in reality. You can only appear what you are not. You have never moved away from perfection. You have never moved away from perfection. All ideas of self-improvement is conventional and verbal. As the sun knows not darkness, so does the self know not the non-self. It is the mind, which by knowing the other becomes the other. Yet the mind is nothing else but the self. It is the self that becomes the other, the not self, and yet remains the self. All else is an assumption. Just as a cloud obscures the sun without in any way affecting it, so does assumption obscure reality without destroying it. The very idea of destruction of reality is ridiculous. The destroyer is always more real than the destroyed. Reality is the ultimate destroyer. All separation, every kind of estrangement and alienation is false. All is one. All is one. This is the ultimate solution of every conflict. All is one. How is it that in spite of so much instruction and assistance, we make no progress? As long as we imagine ourselves to be separate personalities, one quite apart from another, we cannot grasp reality, which is essentially impersonal. First, we must know ourselves as witnesses only, dimensionless and timeless centers of observation, and then realize that immense ocean of pure awareness, which is both mind and matter and beyond both. Whatever I may be in reality, yet I feel myself to be a small and separate person, one amongst many. Your being a person is due to the illusion of space and time. You imagine yourself to be at a certain point, occupying a certain volume. Your personality is due to your self-identification with the body. Your thoughts and feelings exist in succession. They have their span in time, and make you imagine yourself, because of memory, as having duration. In reality, time and space exist in you. You do not exist in them. They are modes of perception, but they are not the only ones. Time and space are like words written on paper. The paper is real, the words merely a convention. How old are you? 48. What makes you say 48? What makes you say I am here? Verbal habits born from assumptions. The mind creates time and space and takes its own creations for reality. All is here and now, but we do not see it. Truly, all is in me and by me. There is nothing else. The very idea of else is a disaster and a calamity. What is the cause of personification, of self-limitation in time and space? That which does not exist cannot have a cause. There is no such thing as a separate person. Even taking the empirical point of view, it is obvious that everything is the cause of everything, that everything is as it is because the entire universe is as it is. Yet personality must have a cause. How does personality come into being? By memory, by identifying the present with the past and projecting it onto the future. Think of yourself as momentary, without past and future, and your personality dissolves. Think of yourself as momentary, without past, without future, and your personality dissolves. Does not I am remain? The word remain does not apply. I am is ever afresh. You do not need to remember in order to be. As a matter of fact, before you can experience anything, there must be the sense of being. At present, your being is mixed up with experiencing. All you need is to unravel being from the tangle of experiences. Once you have known pure being, without being this or that, you will discern it among experiences, and you will no longer be misled by names and forms. Self-limitation is the very essence of personality. How can I become universal? But you are universal. You need not, and you cannot become what you already are. You are universal. You need not, and you cannot become what you already are, what you've always been, and what you always will be. Only cease imagining yourself to be the particular. What comes and goes has no being. It owes its very appearance to reality. You know that there is a world, but does the world know you? All knowledge flows from you, as all being and all joy. Realize that you are the eternal source, and accept all as your own. Such acceptance is true love. Realize that you are the eternal source and accept all as your own. Such acceptance is true love. You are universal. You are universal. You need not, you don't have to, and you cannot become what you already are. How can water become water? How can spirit become spirit? How can awareness become awareness? It's a futile action and desire. You already are. Only cease. The only thing he asks us to do is just stop imagining yourself to be the particular, the conceptual self, the imagined self. What comes and goes, it has no being. It's only an appearance. Realize that you are the eternal source. Rest and abide as the eternal source. Accept all as your own. Such acceptance is true love. Nisargadatta Maharaj says, everything becomes loving and lovable. And why wouldn't it? All becomes one. All is one. And that is seen and realized and experienced and felt and sensed. It becomes your living reality, your direct perception of what is. No more separation. Separation is seen to be something that was only imagined. It never actually had any reality. It was only a verb, a process happening. But it was never real. May all beings everywhere wake up to their own true nature as the Parabrahman, as the Absolute, as pure being and pure awareness. Wake up and out of the imagined self, the ego, the pseudo-identity. Realize yourself as the universal. Thank you, Nisargadatta. Peace and love. Namaste.